everyone. I am thrilled that you've joined me today for today's kind of impromptu Facebook live stream. It should be a short and sweet one. So it's just me today, and I wanted to answer all of your questions about the newly open for enrollment Social Media for Social Good Academy. And I also wanted to answer any questions that you might have around social media for nonprofits, digital strategy, anything like that. So happy Friday. I'd love to hear where you're watching from, and I'd love to see the emoji that describes your week. So for me, well, first of all, it's cold and gray and pouring rain outside, and it's probably going to freeze. I'm in Boston, if you know that, north of Boston. And the school just called and scared the heck out of me because I thought that my daughter was sick and I was going to have to go pick her up, but they were just clarifying if she was getting on the bus today. So I thought, oh man, what, I have to cancel this. Just another day in the life of a working mom. So hopefully you can hear me, you can see me, and I'm hoping that everything is all working because I don't have my tech guru today. I don't have Josh here today. So we'll see. I don't know. I have no idea if anyone's even watching this. So what I wanted to talk about, I wanted to say that the window to enroll in the academy is open, and it's only open for the first 100 students or when we hit February 16th, because the doors close, everything starts on February 17th. So we'll really only have about a week left of doors being open. And I'll put the link in the comments, and I'll put the link in the caption so that you can get all of the information. I've included on the like site page, on the academy page, a detailed syllabus and timeline so that you know how it's going to work and you know when things are going to roll out and you don't miss anything at all. So what you need to know about this program is that it's 6 weeks long, really 7 weeks if you count. There's 1 week of implementation, but it's the result of my 20 years of experience working in and with nonprofits, including 10 years of running my own business and consulting and speaking and writing books and working with all of you in the trenches on these issues and getting a lot of messages and questions in my inbox every single day. So I want to start with a story. So when I started my development / marketing career, my first development director job, it was director of development and communications, of course, because marketing / development / everything else. And I showed up at the job and there was no computer on my desk. It was just a bunch of wires. I had to completely figure out who to talk to, who to go to for what. I had zero guidance. I had zero people helping me. The executive director that I was working with was lovely and she's a wonderful person, but she was completely stressed out and burned out and couldn't even help me. And I felt like I was often being a burden to her. So I had to create all of my own systems and really figure out what's going to get me the most bang for my buck, my limited time. I read Benavon books. Do you remember Benavon? I don't know what it's called now. I read everything from my favorite gurus like Mark Pittman and Tom Ahern and Pam Grow and Gail Perry and everyone else, Penelope Burke. And I'm sorry if I'm missing someone. Beth Cantor, certainly, and John Hayden. And I read everything and I just tried to piecemeal it kind of together and Band-Aid it together. And I didn't really know, what I was doing. I had no idea what was happening. I had no idea if it was working or if it was the right strategy. And I really wish that I'd had something like Social Media for Social Good Academy to guide me along the way and to help me and to really give me that step-by-step guide that's just the essentials so that I could close all of those Google Chrome tabs, so that I could stop bookmarking and putting things in Pocket that I was never going to read later. That, you know, that file that you have on your desktop that's called to read and you print things out or you print a PDF and you put them in there? Yeah, delete that file. You're never going to read it. I certainly never have. So what I am going to give you in the Academy are just everything you need to know, but from start to finish. So kind of soup to nuts. If you're managing social media at your nonprofit, how do you manage your time, what kind of content, how do you know who your audience is, how do you attract the right kind of audience, all of those kinds of things. So the way that we do social media now, we're spinning our wheels. We're wasting time. We're wasting money. We're throwing spaghetti up to see what sticks. The number one complaint that I get from organizations is that they just don't have a strategy or a plan. They feel like they're being reactive to social media. They're reacting, and they are not being proactive. Now, I just want to see if I can see I don't know. I can't see comments or questions or anything. So if you have them, I'm going to have to go on my phone to try to find if you have comments and questions, because Be Live TV, no surprise, is not letting me see that. So I'm going to go do that. My phone's on airplane mode because I was worried the school was going to call me like 10 more times. So what I'm trying to say is, I think that the time that we spend just being reactive without a plan, without knowing what we're doing, that is not time well spent. We need to be proactive so that we can spend less time on social media, but be more focused and more intentional and more thoughtful. So if that sounds familiar to you, I would love to invite you to join me into the Academy. And I have made these mistakes and I've learned from them. And that's what I built my consulting practice on. And I want you to learn from my mistakes, learn from everybody else's mistakes. We're going to have this great community of only 100 people. So I want you to delete all the tabs, delete all of the bookmarks, stop watching how-to videos on YouTube, stop focusing on the tools, and let's start figuring out the strategy and the plan and the content. And of course, we will talk about tools. So what is included in Social Media for Social Good Academy? There are 6 training modules, which are taught live each week. So 6 webinars, basically, I'll be doing live on Zoom, and it'll be interactive, and you'll be able to get all your questions asked or answered. 5 hours of on-demand bonus video training that will be uploaded into your bonus section of your course website. There'll be weekly live Q&A sessions that are exclusive for the Academy, very small, and I'll be doing those in the Facebook group. There'll be the exclusive Facebook community just for students, where you can really get one-on-one help from me and other experts. And of course, there's going to be checklists and worksheets and guidebooks and resource guides. Not anything too overwhelming, but things that I know will help you stay on track and stay focused along the way. So week by week, if you want to see what we're going to cover, I have my little syllabus. It's called the Social Media for Social Good Academy Live Training and Syllabus, Live Training Schedule and Syllabus. So when you go to the course website, and I'm happy to send this to you as a PDF as well, you're going to be able to access the live training schedule and the syllabus. It's going to give you all of the details into what is covered week by week by week. So let me see if I can find this Facebook Live so I can make sure if I'm answering your questions. Okay, I don't see any questions yet, but if you have questions, type them in, let me know. I'll be monitoring it. Okay, so what I want to express the most to you is that this is not a course that you buy and then you watch a bunch of videos on your own time and you sift through a bunch of PDFs and you kind of do a checklist and then you're done and then maybe you do half of it and maybe you don't. No, the way I designed this is that each live training builds off the next and the next and the next. And I want us all to do this together. And that's why I want to deliver this course live, because I learn from you and I learn from the feedback and we all learn from each other. So the questions that you ask, the community, the examples, the inspiration, all of that is integral to what I'm trying to do with this course. So I know you might hear, oh, online course, you might think, okay, it's just a bunch of checklists and some videos already recorded. No, also with a social media course, I feel like it'd be really hard to just record it and send it out in the world because there are changes happening literally moment to moment. So we have to discuss this in real time, right? Okay, so what goes into the Academy? The first week, Module 1, we're going to talk about what are we here for anyway? Gaining clarity around goals, audience, and message. And this is where we're going to build a really strong framework for your marketing plan by setting goals and identifying your target audiences. So we're going to identify who you already have in your community, and then we're going to identify who you still need to reach and attract to accomplish your goals. And then how do we address common challenges such as reaching multiple distinct audiences? So we're going to set that foundation in week 1. Week 2, where should we be on social media? I'm going to give you my fast track formula to select the best social media platforms for your nonprofit, right? So we're not all going to be on the same platforms because we're not all going to have the same goals and the same audience and the same capacity and the same message and all of that. So we're going to do a quick assessment in week 2 of the most popular social media channels and then some emerging social media channels like Byte and TikTok, and try to figure out what it all means. What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are the pros? What are the cons? Where does this fit in for your organization? And then how can we manage this shiny object syndrome that we all have and FOMO, which is fear of missing out? I'll give you some strategies to do that. In week 3, we're going to talk about what we should be posting. So how to design a social media content strategy that slays. That's in week 3. This is going to probably be the most fun week and the most intensive week. This is where I'm going to walk you through a way to not only create, but curate great content that your audience will love. And we'll go over my content remix recipe, how to take one piece of content and remix it in a million different ways, and the 6 pillars of social media content that will help you grow your audience. Week 4, this is where we talk about when and how often creating and managing your kick butt social media calendar. So this is when we go into cadence, how often to post, how to fill out your content calendar, which type of content calendar that you should be using, how to balance your news, program events, appeals, and more, and how to balance planning ahead with spontaneity. So that'll be fun, actually. That's week 4. Module 5, week 5. This is where we talk about analytics and measurement. This was something I heard from quite a few of you that you really wanted me to cover in this academy. So are we getting results? How to track your efforts with analytics. This is how to determine your effectiveness. We'll walk through how to choose which metrics to track, how and where to pull them, a brief review of some analytics dashboards, how to use a spreadsheet, and then I'll give you some benchmarking reports so that you can get started. The next week is March 30th, and that's implementation week. So that's where I give you a week to kind of breathe and decompress and digest the information. That's also the week I'm going to be speaking at 2 different conferences. So I didn't want things to get too crazy, but I will be in the Facebook group. I'll be in my email. I'll be answering your questions, and I'll be giving you some assignments that week. And then our final week is April 6th. That's where Module 6 happens. This is a really important week. This is something I hear over and over and over again. How can I control the chaos? How can I get things done when there's so much to do? So week 6 is going to be time management and productivity in a demanding job. So we're going to review specific tactics and strategies, not just for productivity, because I don't necessarily think, wait, what did Marie Forleo just say? Activity does not equal accomplishment. Activity does not equal accomplishment. I love that. That's Marie Forleo. Busy is not a badge of honor. I don't know who said that, but I also love that too. I don't want you to think we're going to do some productivity thing where you're going to have 20,000 more tasks on your plate. What we're going to do, we're going to learn how to time batch. We're going to learn how to set boundaries. We're going to learn how to create an internal communication system with your staff, with your team, or even if it's just you, with your boss, with a colleague, and then how to get buy-in and how to help people really understand what you do and how they can participate and how they can best help. Okay, so if you have any questions, I've been talking for about 15 minutes. I love to see where you're watching from, and if you want to share an emoji about your week, I'll do a comment and share an emoji. Let me see. You know what? Maybe share a GIF. Here, I'm going to share a GIF with you if it works. Okay, of course it didn't work. But anyway, if you would like to share one, I would love to hear it. So yeah, you can ask me anything. Otherwise, you can just post in the comments after the live stream and I'll get a notification. And I'll be happy to share those answers with you. So I'll post the links to the syllabus. I'll post the links to I do have a couple of questions that people sent me. What am I doing here? I'm so disorganized. It's not like me. Yay. Oh, is that a crazy emoji? I can't see it, Karen. I think it's like the crazy eye emoji. Yeah. Well, this week, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to this week. I'm going to drink more coffee. I couldn't believe when I woke up this morning. I mean, I knew it was Friday, but I still couldn't believe it. I was thinking, what happened to this week? And also, what happened to January? Crazy. Okay, I have 2 questions that were sent to me via email from people that could not watch the live stream, but they wanted me to answer their questions. Number 1, is this course for complete newbies? That's a really, really good question. So what I told this woman, I said, it depends what you mean by complete newbie. So we are not going to go over, this is how you set up a Facebook page for your nonprofit, right? We're going to go over this. You're using social media or you're interested in using it. You set it up. Maybe you've been spinning your wheels for a while, throwing stuff up and to see what sticks. And we're going to help reel it all in and bring it all back on track. Or you could be starting from absolute scratch at a new job. You could be a new hire, or you could be in a new role. Maybe you've been a development director for years, and now you're transitioning into managing the social media. So there will not be a lot of, this is exactly how you set up your Facebook page. This is how you set up Twitter, right? There won't be sort of that technical background, but when we review the platforms, we will review trends, we'll analyze best practices, we'll talk about what works for nonprofits, and I'll certainly give you some examples. So if you've never heard of social media before, this is probably not the course for you, but it's certainly not going to be super, super, super duper advanced. All right, so the second question, what if I can't make the live trainings? That's a really good question too. Well, when you purchase the access to the Academy, I'm going to give you lifetime access. So that means whenever I do this again, maybe in the fall, maybe next year, you can take it again. You can keep your recordings. You can get the new recordings. You can get all the worksheets. You can keep everything forever. So you have lifetime access. So if you can't make the webinars live, or you can't even make the Facebook Live Q&As, don't let that deter you if you have to miss a couple of them, because you will get all of the recordings and everything. And I just think it's important to give you lifetime access because this stuff changes so much. And I really want to build a community of people that can draw upon each other and we can all kind of be on the same page and help each other out. Okay. Yay. Tara is watching from North Dakota. Karen is watching from New York or New Jersey. We're not really sure. Just kidding. Tara has a question. What are your tips for using Facebook to promote events? I've heard not to boost. I'm not sure who told you not to boost. I wouldn't listen to anybody other than Facebook, probably, if they said not to boost. Now, I think Facebook events are a fantastic way. Creating a standalone event that's linked to your page is what I'm talking about. That's a fantastic way to promote your event because Facebook will show that event to like-minded people. So when I like an event in my local area, say I like, I don't know what, something's coming up, a concert, Facebook will take that information and start showing me events that are very similar. Also, I'll start seeing if my friends are going. You get that notification on your phone every day. 25 friends are going to events near you today. Sometimes I check it out, sometimes I don't, but it's a great way to get free promotion for your event. I think boosting is fine. I would not boost to a completely cold audience. And that's what people tend to do when they create Facebook ads, is they feel like, oh, well, we'll just send this to a completely cold audience who doesn't know anything about us. No, I would boost it to your fans on Facebook. I would upload your email list into Facebook custom audiences. You can make what's called a customer list. and boost it to your email list. Boost it to people that are more likely to interact with it and engage with it. And that's going to get you the sort of the ball rolling and get that snowball effect and get even more people to see it. Another tip about Facebook events, don't just post an event and then just not do anything. Just don't post it and then leave and then never look at that event again. Look at, we should be updating it. So consistently updating the Facebook event, putting new developments, like maybe you have a new sponsor, maybe you have a new speaker, maybe you have an update on the event venue, because the people that are interested, that are marked interested in going, will get reminders. So you'll constantly be in their notifications, and you'll be getting reminders, and that's going to push some people kind of over the edge into actually buying tickets because they'll remember, so that you'll stay top of mind. So make sure you're updating the event, and make sure you're not, you're inviting your friends from the event, you're inviting fans. Don't just sort of set up an event and just, think that people are going to find it, because they're probably not. Okay. Hi, Sam. I saw that you were here. All right. Joseph says, when the role is strategy-based and not execution-based, I don't run the accounts, but work with the digital media team. Will this be beneficial? I think that it would absolutely be beneficial for strategy. I mean, there will be some talk of tools in terms of execution, but I'm not going to be screenshotting like, this is how you send a tweet. Like, this is exactly how you send a tweet. But, what I would do, Joseph, is I would take a look at the syllabus, and I have a detailed syllabus on the course page. I'll put the link in here, and you can see if things like, time management and content strategy and securing buy-in and internal communications, I think all of that would be very beneficial. But I think you have to look at, there probably is 1 week where we'll be talking about content strategy and implementation and execution. But it's really, I'm not focused on the tools, because the tools change. The tools change so frequently. I'm really focused on how can you find your audience, and how can you find your message, and how can you best connect your audience with your message, and how can you do it in a way that's consistent and that you can stick to, and that's not overwhelming. And then I want to give you a framework so that when things come at you later, like your boss says, oh, we have to get on this brand new shiny tool, then you have a toolkit where you say, okay, we can evaluate it. Let's use Julia's fast track formula to evaluate it. Let's use this to see and be able to survey our audience and see if they're on there, because we can look at the metrics, we can look at the demographics. So for me, it's more helping you be able to make decisions in the future so that you know that you're on track and you're focused and you're clear and you don't feel like as reactive. So I want to train proactive nonprofit social media managers. I want everyone to take back the power of social media and stop being so reactive, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. Well, I didn't want to keep you too long. I've already kept you almost half an hour. I will put all the links in, and I'm really happy to talk to anyone about the Academy. All next week, doors are open. I'll be doing webinars and probably another Facebook Live Q&A. If you're on my email list, you'll be getting more information and bonuses as they roll out, because I do have some awesome bonuses for you. And I'm just so excited to get started. Now that I was just reading over the syllabus that I worked so hard on, but I'd never read it out loud, I'm getting really excited. So I really hope you'll consider joining me. Like I said, you have lifetime access to the program, and I think it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be awesome. So thank you so much. I would love to see you. I would love to see you on another Facebook Live. So take care, and I will see you on the inside.